Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzy. This is the Farzy Show, presented by Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Hey, Mother's Day, Sunday. You love your mom? I love my mom. Do you love the mother of your children? I love the mother of my children. Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, home of the perfect price. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Game 6. Tonight, 7:30, South Philadelphia. Game 6 of Eastern Conference semifinals with the Philadelphia 76ers looking to finish off the Boston Celtics, clinch the series, win the series, move on to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 22 years. That is what could happen tonight. The game is happening tonight. Joel Embiid will be leading his Sixers on the court looking to finish off the Boston Celtics. I am excited about it. I have been waiting for this moment with great anticipation. I really do think the Sixers are going to close things out tonight in South Philly. I want no parts of going back to Boston, none whatsoever, and I can't wait for 7:30 tip tonight. But all I can think about is Keith Jones potentially being the president of the Philadelphia Flyers. Let the record state that I am leading with basketball at Game 6, but just so you know, what is rattling around in my brain is Keith Elaine Jones, a man I worked with for 13 years, potentially being the president of hockey operate. He would have a desk. He would have an office. He'd be meeting with other teams. He'd be having serious conversations about the future of my beloved Philadelphia Flyers franchise. He would be in a serious role as president of hockey operations for the Philadelphia Flyers. We are in a parallel universe. I actually have confidence in Jonesy, and I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. I'll explain why later, but just know while I'm about to go talk about the Sixers here in Game 6, while I'm about to go and talk about the Phillies winning crazily yesterday, while I'm about to talk about the Eagles and their schedule release tonight and how we already know of a couple games on the schedule, including Boston Scott most likely playing the role of the Grinch on Christmas in South Philadelphia for a 4:30 kickoff against the New York Giants. While all that's being discussed, I'll be thinking of Keith Jones and the grade school humor that we exchanged for 13 years when we worked together. So all that I'll be talking about, but just know in my idiot brain, that's what I'll be thinking. I'll be saying things out loud into this microphone. Hello, everyone. I'll be saying things into that, but thinking, what the hell's going on? I literally laughed. I looked, and it's not a slight at Jonesy. It's just how I know him. And then in the setting I was putting him in mentally with the reports that he's all but a guarantee now to be the Flyers president of hockey operations. So just know, I've been telling him about my excitement for the Sixers, talking about how happy I was that the Phillies have now won 3 straight, and the Eagles schedule. Just know while all that's going on verbally, mentally, I'm just laughing my ass off. Anyway, welcome into the show, everybody. Nice to have you along, everyone there on the Jacob Media YouTube channel, as well as the Farzy YouTube channel. People on Twitch. I never say hi to the people on Twitch. Say hi to the people on Twitch. And, of course, the people on the podcast. Welcome in, everybody. Let's start it off with those 76ers in Game 6 tonight. For someone, and I'm not alone here, that did not have confidence that the Sixers were going to win this series with the Boston Celtics, for someone that really had to acquire it along the way, I realize this is a bit of an about face, but when you're presenting new information, you have to draw a new conclusion. And I believe, with now the greatest amount of confidence that I have had in this series, I am about at an 80%, 85% confidence right now. What was I like 60%? Like 80%. I was 60% that the Boston Celtics still win this series last week. That's what I was. Now, things have changed. I believe that the Sixers have cracked the code here. And I believe the Sixers, and yes, Mostly thanks to the talents of Joel Embiid, mostly thanks to the talents of James Harden, a lot of the talent of Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, as I like to call him now. Forget about Johnny on the spot. He's Toby on the spot. Every single play seems to be Toby on the spot. You need the putback, he's right there. 3, kick out, boom, he's right there. You do the little defense, boom, he's right there. Like Toby on the spot. But also because of PJ Tucker, his leadership and his experience. I think that the Sixers are in the position that they're in right now. And much like Joel Embiid digging down and finding more to give in the late goings of the fourth quarter of Game 4 and watching him push into overtime after PJ Tucker got in his ear and told him, we need more from you. We can't have that. We need more from you, Joel Embiid. You're our leader. You're our MVP. I believe the Sixers have dug down as a team and found that they have more to give. Now, this Sixers team, not everyone on this squad has been there for the Game 7 losses against the Hawks or against the other team that they lost in Game 7 to, or not Game 7, but the second round, or Game 7 against the Raptors, or lost in the second round against the Heat last year. But a lot of them have. Nobody was on the Game 7 team that lost to the Celtics in 2012, was it? It's been a minute since then. Since the Andre Iguodala, Drew Holiday led 76ers. It's been a minute. And now the Sixers have a chance tonight to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Why am I so confident? It's because the Sixers have had to play damn near perfect basketball. Joel Embiid has had to be MVP for him. He's been that really for the last 2 games. And somebody else has stepped up over the last 2 games to be that other scorer. James Harden, most notably. Tyrese Maxey, most recently. Tobias Harris has been consistent for you in this offense and defense for the Sixers team. This team actually looks like a team that should be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Not like it's just being gifted to them or handed to them because they were a number 1 seed like they were when they lost against the Hawks, but because they look like a team that really wants it. All this dramatic stuff that follows what matters most on the court, I can't even believe I'm saying it. But this team just looks like a different team. And watch them make me and a lot of other people feel stupid after picking them to win tonight and finish them off. But there's no other way to describe it than they just look like they've matured. They look like they had their confirmation, their bar mitzvah. They have become a man. That's what it looks like. We have watched this team mature over the years, and for whatever reason, PJ Tucker is the disciplinarian, the tough teacher, the tough parent that has said, yeah, enough of this. We're better than everything you guys have ever done. Everything this franchise has done for the last 22 years, you're better than that. And let's go prove it. And whatever it is with that moxie, and I give a lot of credit to Doc Rivers because he has hit the right notes in this series, no question about that, whether that's something tactical, like Daniel House going into the game in Game 5 and getting those minutes and getting you 10 points, whether it's that or it's texting James Harden a gospel song to make sure that he is in the right headspace going into a Game 4. That's amazing. That is knowing your team. That is also having that good gut feeling about who do you think is actually going to be the guy off the bench to really contribute? Daniel House. Who do you think is going to be the guy in the lineup that really needs to make sure that he's focused going into a Game 4 the way James Harden was? All right, gospel music, dial it up. 8 minutes long, to hell with it, we need it. He has played the right notes. He has hit every note in this series. That's what Doc Rivers has done. So if I'm looking at the coach, and I'm looking at all his experience, although we all know it's not great, the experience that Doc Rivers has had, yes, winning a championship is great, but fizzling out in the playoffs time and time again. Since then, not so great. Losing 3-1 series leads, 3-0 series leads, all that, not so great. But he's in a situation right now with this team where everyone seems to be buying in. Not just to the head coach, but to everyone. This team is buying into each other. This team thoroughly believes right now, after stealing a second game in Boston, and not just stealing it, but really owning it. This team really believes they could be Eastern Conference finalists. And then after that, who knows? The Knicks and the Heat has been just turned into a crazier series. That one's going to a Game 6. Jimmy Butler still having that ankle injury. Jalen Brunson, geez Louise, coming out last night with 38 points to lead the Knicks to a win and force a Game 6. Stave off elimination. Not too shabby for the Knicks. I must say I'm surprised. Either one of those teams, I think the Sixers will win. But the Knicks, man, they give you that extra added, I don't know, something about beating the Knicks. Jimmy Butler, I just want no parts of. Basically, that's what it comes down to. I want no parts of Jimmy Butler whatsoever. But watching the Sixers team play, this is what we have been waiting for. We have been waiting for a moment, whether it was even in the Ben Simmons days of waiting for him to take that next step forward and advance his game offensively. Joel Embiid start taking his talents more seriously. We have seen that over the last couple of years. It has really been incredible to watch the maturation process of this team, but this seems like the mature moment. This game 6 tonight seems like it is going to be that moment where the Sixers really prove that they have grown up. And we've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for this team to really reach their true potential. And their true potential should not stop in the second round of the playoffs as it has for the last 22 years, at best, being in the second round. This is a team that needs to take that step forward. I believe tonight is the night they officially take that step forward. Now, if you're the Boston Celtics, one of the reasons I had so much confidence that they were going to win this series a week ago was for the simple fact that they have a lot of experience. They have a lot of experience winning in the playoffs, just going back to last year. Last year, they were in the same type of situation. And I even mentioned it yesterday. When you look at their Bucks series, last playoff run, they were down. They were down in that series 3-2, and they came back and they won 2 more games. They went into that game 6. They won in game 6, and then they won game 7. So they were in a very similar situation. And they got 2 guys that can really hurt you consistently throughout a game. They obviously have Jason Tatum. They obviously have Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum can go off at any minute. Jason Tatum's a guy that can score 7 points in a foul-ridden game 3 or game 2, excuse me. Or Jason Tatum's a guy that'll drop 39 in the blink of an eye. Jaylen Brown, similar type of player in that regard, but Jason Tatum's obviously the one that can hurt you throughout an entire game. Then you got Marcus Smart just annoying the hell out of you. But I believe the biggest X factor in all of this, that all the great guys, Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench, all that stuff for the Celtics is great. They do great, all that stuff. But the biggest X factor here is that you have a guy like Tobias Harris, you have a guy like PJ Tucker that you could sick on Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, and those 2 guys can hold their own defensively. But you take, and plus on the other end of the court, scoring-wise, they can cancel out whatever the Celtics are doing offensively, especially a guy like James Harden and Joel Embiid and what they could do offensively speaking. But the greatest mismatch in this series is something that you want to talk about maturation, you want to talk about maturing. The Celtics finally do not have an answer for Joel Embiid. It was, for a while, Al Horford just being able to frustrate, defend, and at times dominate Joel Embiid on the offensive end of the floor. While Al Horford has been on defense, he has just found a way to manhandle Joel Embiid and just say, all right, you want to beat me? We used to call it dad strength, man strength. That's what it was like. It was like playing your old man when you're still in high school and he's just pushing you around. That's what it was like watching Al Horford on Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has now shot past Al Horford in that regard. And ever since that moment in Game 4 where you saw PJ Tucker chewing the ear out of Joel Embiid, it has been a totally different story. And Al Horford now just is not the answer. He used to be the answer, the kryptonite to the Superman that was Joel Embiid. Now we are past that point. And the best part about it is Joel Embiid realizes it. And he is going to eat in Game 6. The man is a showman. I talk about it all the time when I talk about his injuries, how dramatic he likes to be with his injuries. And those aren't my words. Those are J.J. Redick's words. So dramatic, Joel Embiid. What better drama, what better script, what better story to tell about your legacy than winning against the Boston Celtics in Game 6 to eliminate them from the playoffs and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, than to come back from injury that you were supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks with, and you come back at home, finish them off. You get better and better as your games go on in this series, and the next thing you know, you're dropping 40 points at home to help the Sixers move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. That is a beautiful, dramatic story to tell. Little Arthur, the little boy, Joel Embiid's son. that he loves so much. And if you weren't crying during the trophy presentation of the MVP award when Arthur came running out, who's chopping onions? Beautiful moment. But becoming a father for him has really helped his basketball game. Hey, it's the most beautiful thing that can ever happen to you. I'm just telling you this right now. It's the most incredible thing. If you're not a father, it's the greatest thing ever. And Joel Embiid has certainly taken that and run with it, I'm sure, in his personal life, and we've watched him do it on the basketball court as well. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Arthur's got a piece of that MVP trophy, no doubt about that. But what better story to tell the young man? And that's what Joel Embiid always says. He's trying to put himself in a spot that he wants to tell his son about. I try to be the best basketball player I can be so that Arthur can be proud of his dad. I'm not mocking. I mean that. I mean that. Those are fake tears, ladies and gentlemen. For the people on the podcast, they were fake tears to promote sincere tears. It really does make me want to cry. Anyway, that's the point. So I see it all finishing tonight. And I couldn't be more excited. But yes, the Celtics are going to come out. Celtics are going to throw everything in the kitchen sink. Everybody knows it. The Sixers mindset is the proper mindset. Everyone is saying the right thing. Joel Embiid, James Harden, Doc Rivers, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, everyone. PJ Tucker, we haven't done anything. PJ Tucker was talking to the team after the game. We haven't done anything. We expect to win every day. That's what he told the team after the Game 5 victory. We expect to win every day. We still try our hardest and respect our opponent, but we expect to win. So that when you're not winning late in the game, you can look around and say, what the hell are we doing here? We're supposed to win this game. And as time goes on, they'll show you that they're there to win again tonight. And I can't wait for that moment. Can't wait for the Sixers to take the court. Can't wait for the bell to ring. There's no Phillies game tonight. Phillies have an off night. So as someone who's been doing the Phillies post game on the Jacob Media YouTube channel, it'll be good to just be able to concentrate on the Sixers, hopefully finishing off the Boston Celtics. And the hell with hopefully. Finishing off the Boston Celtics tonight. How are you feeling about the game? Are you confident? Are you still riding a high? Will the Sixers finish it off tonight? Let me know in the chat, of course. Let's talk about those Philadelphia Phillies, ladies and gentlemen, and yesterday's performance. First, let's start with a little injury news. Phillies are about to go on a road trip, a 6-game road trip, 3 games in Colorado against the Rockies, who are a much different ball club than the one we saw a couple of weeks ago in South Philly, where the Phillies took 3 or 4 from them. And then they'll go into the San Francisco Giants and take on Gabe Kapler. So that's what will happen over the next couple of games here. But today, the Phillies have a day off. Yesterday was the getaway game. They take, it's a 2-game series, but hey, a win is a win, and a sweep is a sweep. And that's a sweep, baby. And the Phillies swept whatever the hell they played, the Toronto Blue Jays. Thank you. The Toronto Blue Jays right on out of here in Philadelphia. And yesterday, it was a rather weird way to do it. Yesterday, Phillies go into this game with an opportunity to sweep the brief 2-game set, win 3 in a row. What do we call 3 in a row? A winning streak. And yesterday, they give up the home run in the 5th inning, and Zack Wheeler had been on cruise control in this game. Zack Wheeler goes out there and unfortunately allows the home run to Brandon Belt. It's a 1-0 ball game. Phillies are able to respond by evening things up in the bottom half of that inning. And you know what? It was actually great to see with what the Phillies were able to do last night throughout this game, because I know I joke about, a win is a win and all that, but good teams, and you guys heard me say this last year, and this is not original at all, but good teams just find a way to win a game. And yesterday afternoon, the Phillies just found a way to win. Brandon Belt gets the home run in the top of the 5th inning. Phillies, unfortunately, aren't able to get anything going until the bottom of the 9th inning. Bryce Harper led things off with a single. Castellanos comes up. He reaches on an infield single. Ball hit up the middle. It was a crazy at-bat by Nick Castellanos because Harper gets up there on base, right? So it's a 1-run ball game, 1-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Leadoff hit by Harper. Castellanos steps up. A hanging slider, he belts down the left field line and just goes foul. Almost a walk-off. Almost his second home run in as many days. Then in that same at-bat, he hits a pop-up down the right field line. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going out trying to track it. trying to catch it over his shoulder. So Castellanos is he's about to pop out with a runner on first base, and the ball falls. Vlad Guerrero Jr. can't get to it. Nobody could get to it. Merriweather couldn't get to it. Nobody could get to it. So now you have new life. Castellanos then hits a bouncer up the middle. If this ball is hit maybe a little harder, if this ball is hit a little bit more to the left, it's a perfect patented double play ball. But it wasn't. So many close calls could have gone either way with this one at bat. Very dramatic bat, most dramatic at bat of the season. Bounces up the middle. Everybody's safe. Harper's safe at second. Castellanos is safe at first. All is right with the world. Nobody out. Then next up is Kyle Schwarber, who was playing in the game with the bone contusion on the top of his left foot. He was playing in the game. He strikes out. JT Realmuto steps up to the plate with runners on first and second with nobody out. JT Realmuto jumps on the second pitch of the at-bat. Another slider by Romano. That was actually the 8th straight slider Romano threw. He belts it into left field for a RBI double, game-tying RBI double. How magnificent is that? You go into extra innings, Craig Kimbrell, don't waste my time, okay? Craig Kimbrell bouncing back from a unfortunate series there with the LA Dodgers, as a lot of Phillies bullpen members were. Strikes out Kurt, strikes out Espinal, and strikes out Jensen. Not too bad. Not too bad in the 10th inning there. Now you go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and this is where we get freaky, folks. You get Bryson Stott. Okay, you know what? I don't know who's telling the Phillies to bunt. Edmundo Sosa in the bottom of that, I think, looked like he had never. It wasn't the 8th inning. I'm sorry, it wasn't the 9th inning. No, it was the 9th inning. Edmundo Sosa trying to bunt. He looked like he had never, what is it called? Bunting? And how do you do it? And you want me to do it here? So just hold the bat okay. For the people on the podcast, I just looked off in the distance as if to say that was the dugout giving me instructions. Anyway, he couldn't lay down the bunt. He ends up grounding out to third. So then Bryson Stott steps up in the 10th inning with the runner on second base, okay, with the rules and all that. And Bryson Stott, you damn near 300 hitter, you're a leadoff hitter, you're telling to lay down a bunt. I don't like it right out of the gate. I don't think I've ever seen Bryson Stott try to lay down a bunt. I don't think I've ever seen Eddie Sosa try to lay down a bunt. I can't remember the last time the Phillies really tried to lay down a bunt with intent, as strategy. I've seen Kyle Schwarber do it, I think, twice. Once this year and once in the World Series for no apparent reason. It's odd. It's odd to me. Okay. But nonetheless, Phillies try to lay down a bunt to no avail. Bryson Stott ends up striking out. They essentially just give 2 strikes away. He strikes out. Next up is Trey Turner. Trey Turner works a walk. How about that? Bryce Harper then steps to the plate. Speaking of bouncing balls up the middle, he bounces a one-hopper bullet back to Meza. Shout out T-Bro. Back to Meza. Meza turns, fires to second, trying to get the double play started. Bo Bichette catches the ball. You think it's done. You think it's over. And he throws the ball away. Sails it past Vlad Guerrero Jr. Edmundo Sosa, again, on second base with the extra inning rules. Rounds third base, heads for home. Vlad Guerrero gets the most perfect carom off the wall, catches it, fires home, but not in time. Edmundo Sosa scores the game-winning run. Phillies walk it off on the Bo Bichette throwing error. Not how you draw it up, but a win is a win. You find a way to win. You take how you can get it. Take whatever you can get. And that's what the Phillies did yesterday. They hung in there. Mainly it was defense that was incredible. Nick Castellanos in right field. Kyle Schwarber, as I've said many times, has looked as bad as we could expect in left field this season. It's been bad. In right field, Nick Castellanos, all of a sudden, since the World Series, turned himself into a Gold Glover. He's got 2 plays that he tracks to the warning track, one of which I thought was going to, just wreck the Phillies. But he ends up making the play against the wall, tracks it beautifully, reaches up, makes the catch, gets the out. It was perfectly timed jump and everything. He was getting the balls out there in right field as well. We've seen the sliding catches really over his time here in Philadelphia. That's been great. But really, ever since the playoffs last year to this year, he has just been phenomenal in right field. He's been getting the baseballs I don't expect him to. He's been timing his jumps well. He's been throwing well. The sliding catches has been a thing of beauty. I don't know who this guy is in right field, but he's been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I thought I'd be really missing Bryce Harper. He's made it a lot easier as far as a right fielder goes. I do miss Bryce Harper when he doesn't play, but I'm just talking about in right field. He has been a lot better than what we have expected him to be in his Phillies career. So that's great. Phillies, bottom line, they get 3 wins in a row. Couldn't be happier for the Phillies. In the series, last night, yesterday especially, Trey Turner extended his hitting streak to 10 games. Now, this came up in the post-game show, and I think it's incredible. The Phillies, ladies and gentlemen, have this guy, Trey Turner, extends his hitting streak to 10 games. We've been frustrated with Trey Turner. We've had our issues with Trey Turner. He has not been as good as we thought he'd been, right? He has his great career. He wins the World Series. He hits over 300. He gets on base at like 350. He'll hit your home runs. That's great. He was hitting the cover off the ball in the World Baseball Classic with just a little extra added tease to the regular season, and now we have a 260 hitter. In this game, his on-base percentage dipped below 300. It's back up to like 305 now. But this question came up. This question came up during the post-game show on Jacob Media yesterday. It was about his 10-game hitting streak. So I went back and I looked it up because I couldn't help myself because I was like, wait, he's only batting 260? 261 now? I thought he was hitting around 260 at the start of the 10-game hitting streak. So wouldn't you know it? Trey Turner's batting average has dropped 2 points since he started this 10-game winning streak. 10-game hitting streak. His on-base percentage has dropped a point during this 10-game hitting streak. That's not supposed to happen. I know it's very possible. Somebody pointed out, well, you can hit 162 straight games and still bat 250. Yeah, it's true, but that'd be weird. Having a 10-game hitting streak and suffering because of it, or not because of it, during it, is weird. It's consistently one hit. And he's like 1 for 4, 1 for 5, whatever. It's just consistently one hit. On-base percentage and batting average has dropped. That's insane. I was hoping 10-game winning streak. I was hoping we could say, during the 10-game hitting streak, this is a guy who's really, solved the problems of his season. That hasn't happened. Phillies are back at it tomorrow. They'll go for 4 in a row when they start that 3-game series with that other team, with the Colorado Rockies. Rockies are in an interesting spot here. By the way, Taijuan Walker will get the start against Austin Gomber tomorrow. Rockies, much different team, like I mentioned earlier. Phillies 1 game under 500 now. Rockies have now, since their Phillies series, they have won their series with the Guardians. They won their series with the Brewers. They actually swept the Brewers. And they won their series with the Mets, and they won their series with the Pirates. The only series they have lost is their series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. They lost 2 or 3 in that series. But ever since then, they've been really rattling off series wins, including that 4-game winning streak that was encompassed also in that 3-game series against the Brewers. And since then, they've been a much different baseball team. So we're looking forward to see what version of the Rockies they get tomorrow night at 8:40 in Colorado. So that'll be interesting. Aaron Nola will pitch in that series, as will, how about this? In that series, you're going to see Ranger Suarez make his 2023 season debut. How great is that? I'm excited for it. He was in the dugout last night with the Phils. He's actually scheduled to pitch on Saturday night. It'll be an 8:10 start time in Colorado. And then after that, they got a 3-game series with the San Francisco Giants. And how about this? 9:45 start times, not 10:10 start times. That's a sight for sore eyes. That'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before the off day on Thursday. In your next pitching rotation, looks like Walker, Suarez, Nola, Wheeler, Falter. So that's the way that'll shape up for the rest of that series. That's fun to see. That's nice to see. Let's go Eagles here. I still can't do it yet. We know some things about the Eagles schedule, ladies and gentlemen. We know about Eagles Chiefs. We 2? Is that what that is? Okay. And how about this? Yesterday it gets released that the Philadelphia Eagles on Christmas Day will be playing host for a 4:30 kickoff against the New York Giants. Boston Scott looking to play the role of the Grinch to the New York Giants. So, all right. Week 2 Chiefs, I believe it is. I thought I wrote it down. I didn't. Christmas Day against the Giants. Week 13 against the San Francisco 49ers. The NFL, oh, by the way, win. Okay. The NFL is just such a, I know they have their controversy. I get it. But the way a 17-game schedule, 17 days that really matter, that are what it's all about. 17 days out of a 365-day calendar. And they dominate. That is incredible. Just look at the week of a regular NFL season, okay? Just 1 week. Coach addresses the media the day after the game. Coach addresses the media on the Wednesday, usually. Let's just say a Sunday game. Then address the media on Friday. Coordinators speak in between that. Position coaches will speak in between that. Players speak in between that. Just leading up to the Sunday kickoff. Talk, play. Talk, play. Talk, play. It's a whole bunch of talking. They make every day relevant to the game of football. And the schedule release is no exception. They're leaking dates to get people talking about the schedule again. The NFL just knows how to milk it, man. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Talking football 365 days a year. If that's not getting the most out of 17 days, I don't know what the hell is. You talk about the draft, you talk about free agency, everything. It's insane the way they market this. And the schedule release is something that reminds me of that every single year. The fact that you're releasing the Christmas games, the fact that you're releasing the overseas games with the Eagles don't look like they're going to be a part of. The Black Friday game, the Eagles were rumored to be a part of. Like, this gets the people talking about your product. The NFL is amazing. Like, it should be taught in every single marketing class across the entire country if it's not already, across the entire world if it's not already. You think of the way Europeans would think about the NFL, aside from like the London game and the Germany game, whatever. But like, just think about it for a second. Mexico City. It's like, wait, hold on a second. You guys really like this sport that you call football, but clearly it's not our football. And you're able to make everyone else talk about this imagine how that sets in for like anyone who's not American. That's insane that we get this much juice out of it. And that's not a complaint. That's admiration that you can do this. So I, for one, love that on Christmas Day. I always sweat the Christmas Eve game because Christmas Eve is a bigger deal in my family than Christmas. It's all the Christmas season, right? So to get a Christmas Day game is much better for me. To get the 4:30 game is perfect. You can wake up with the kids, you can do the gifts, you can do the family gifts, you can do the breakfast, you can do the lunch, whatever. And then you settle in, relax. Hopefully all the stuff, the craziness of the holidays already done. You sit back and watch the Eagles beat the Giants. And you watch Boston Scott. Oh, Boston Scott. Oh, I just can't wait for it. You're a mean one, Boston Scott. Anyway, had to do that. Sorry. So that's what you got going on. Is it time yet? It's time. Keith Elaine Jones. Chris Tarian put it out there first with Snow the goalie and Crossing Broad. Keith Jones is going to be the Flyers president of hockey operations. Inquirer followed up with a story late yesterday. Keith Jones will be the president of hockey operations for the Philadelphia Flyers. Multiple reports also had that it was going to be down to Eddie Olczyk or Keith Jones. I've known Edzo for 10 years. Great, one of the nicest human beings you could ever come across. One of my favorite people when I was working behind the scenes with NBC nationally. One of my favorite people to work with in ever. Just awesome guy. Rooting for both of them, of course, right? Everything I told you in the open there about Keith Jones, he's one of the funniest people I've ever met. One of the nicest guys you could ever meet. I knew Keith Jones in a role of humor, whether it be high school, elementary, sophomoric, whatever you want to call it. That's I just know that guy is a goofball, as an absolute goofball, and I say that with love and admiration. And when I saw the story, actually, a buddy of mine, I won't say who it was, but a buddy of mine texted me and goes, it's a it's a weird world we live in. And I was like, what? And I clicked on the tweet, and the tweet was actually deleted for some reason. And I go, I'm missing it. What's up? And he goes, Keith Jones is a finalist for the president of hockey operations for the Flyers. And I just started laughing. Because I knew Edzo was in consideration. And if Edzo was in consideration, it's not a far cry to think that Jonesy would be in consideration. And I just laughed because I thought about all the goofy stuff we used to do and all the goofy stuff he has said, all the goofy stuff I have heard. And I just started laughing. And I'm like, that guy's going to be in an office? That guy's going to have like a desk and going to be answering emails? Okay. and I just, once I got past that and I started, it's like, all right, let's be objective for a second here. What does this mean for the future of the Flyers, which is what this ultimately means? Now, it's important to remember that the president of hockey operations does not include also general manager responsibilities like it did with Chuck Fletcher. The Flyers wanted to separate and have separated those two roles. So it looks like Danny Briere is going to get the interim tag removed off his general manager tag, which is great. And I love that. He had some time in the front office. He got to at least see what was going on, how it's run, and all that stuff. So that's great. Obviously knows the game. Jonesy is going to be the president of hockey operations, which is, again, a separate thing. Flyers have separated it. Here's what I know about Keith Jones. The guy will work his ass off to be successful. Whether that be in radio, whether that be him getting the national TV job back before Versus, when Versus, back before NBC Sports, NBCSN, the NBC Sports Network, back before that was a thing, when it was OLN, still the Outdoor Life Network, and they just signed a contract with the NHL to broadcast the games, and Jonesy was up there with Edzo and Bill Clement broadcasting the games. I remember when Jonesy was interviewing for that job. I remember when Jonesy was testing for that job. Then he had to pass this crazy hockey test just to take that job, to get that gig, and he got that gig. He transitioned seamlessly from player to broadcaster. He had the personality to do that. Then he went from like goofball radio co-host, and maintained that position, by the way. And then he went on to be a national broadcaster and is phenomenal at it. I remember Jonesy asked me to put together it was a scouting report, basically, of every NHL team. Now, it wasn't any research I had to do. It was grunt work. It wasn't like I had to like really know hockey and break down anything. But he's like, hey, look, here's this information I need on this website. I need it in a binder, okay? This is like 13 years ago, 10 years ago, 10, 13, whatever. I needed a binder. So I had to make this thing for him. And I was like, look at all this information that I had to like print out and organize and all this stuff. It wasn't like a simple task. It was grunt work, but it involved a lot of hours. And I just remember, this is the guy he's got to like memorize all this to just have this information to call up during broadcasts. And I'm like, that's going to take a lot of work. It's taking me this long just to print things out, organize it, and put it in a binder for him. And now this guy's got to study it. And it was like every team's top 3 lines opening the season. Some teams are top 4 lines, all that stuff. And it was all information that he had to memorize. The point is, he was willing to work. And then the guy also gets the gig locally with the Philadelphia Flyers. And he continues to work, gets the national broadcast job, and is phenomenal. My point is, Jonesy's willing to put in the work. And every job I've ever seen him in, he's only excelled. at the position. So if the Flyers are handing him the reins to this franchise, and he's going to have this title of president of hockey operations for the Philadelphia Flyers, I'm not betting against Keith Jones. He's excelled in everything, and he's worked his ass off in everything. Although the way I know him is much different than a guy that's going to be, per my last email, although the role I know him in is far different than that, I got a lot of confidence that he'll be very successful. And when it boils down to it, I think the Flyers are going to be in great hands with Keith Jones and Danny Briere running the ship. And it's not going to be easy. If you got a rebuild in front of you, that's a lot of work. And I think those are two guys that are willing to put in the work. So despite how I know him with the public persona, I know behind the scenes the guy's going to work his ass off. So congratulations, Jonesy. Hopefully that deal gets announced in the very near future, and it's not just reports. It's all been confirmed. So it's pretty interesting. Pretty amazing, this wild world we live in. Let me tell you right now about the great people at Steven Singer. Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right there on Jewelers Row. For over 40 years, Steven's been in the love business in Philadelphia. And don't forget Mother's Day on Sunday. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price, perfect price. Online at IHateStevenSinger.com. That's IHateStevenSinger.com. How about the great people at Manscaped? Manscaped.com. The leader in below-the-waist grooming. You'll love their Platinum Package 4.0, which is their best hygiene bundle yet. It includes their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, their Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, and they come with skin-safe technology that helps you reduce the risk of nicks, so you can manscape with confidence and comfort. So go to manscaped.com and use promo code Farzy for 20% off and free shipping. How about Freestone Farm CBD? FreestoneFarmCBD.com. You'll love it. You like relaxing at the end of the day? Freestone Farm CBD. Winding down after a workout? Freestone Farm CBD. If you use CBD, give Freestone Farm CBD a chance. They you grow all their premium hemp flower in the Garden State, locally sourced. Sounds pretty good. You'll love the tropical tasting Bayox that clocks into the chart-topping 24.1%, and Super CBD, which is half Hindu, Kush, and 21%. Genetics of these guys are off the charts. So try Freestone Farm CBD at FreestoneFarmCBD.com. How about PHL Sports Nation? Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Let's start it off with a chat check here at the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Chat check. See how you guys are doing on this fine, fine day. What do we got today? 75 degrees, 81 degrees. What do we got going on today? By the way, the Farzy pool is open. That's right. For those that have been following the show for a while, you guys know I moved. We're in the burbs. We have a pool. My first job ever in terms of like a paycheck job was a swimming teacher. So to have a pool now, if you didn't have a pool your whole life and then all of a sudden you have a pool, I don't know if there's a greater feeling in the world than walking out of your own pool and then like grabbing your towel, and your impulse is to like go and thank the family that was kind enough to have you over to their pool. And I was like, wait, I just go into my own house now? I don't have to like pack up the car. I don't have to get the kids. I don't have to like profusely thank the people that invited me over. It's mine? Is that how that works? Well, that's pretty awesome. So anyway, it's going to be a nice day at the Farzy house. Tell you that much. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Sean Kilrain, what's going on? Hey, everybody. Sixers need to be all business tonight against the Celtics. Very dangerous still. I don't disagree. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout. I just like the Sixers to pull it out. John Cheeseborough. Hey, buddy. Sammy. What's up, Sammy? Everyone's saying good morning, everyone. Sammy is also 85% that the Sixers will win. Happy that the Knicks won last night, too. As am I. I want that series to go as long as possible. Jimmy Butler, keep playing on that ankle. That's what I think. Boop. John Cheeseborough saying hello to everybody. Game 6 simply comes down to Doc not falling back into duck rivers and the tattooed hair. The tattooed hair has nothing to do with it. Let's be fair. Game 5 was his best coaching performance of the playoffs, probably of his Sixers career. John Cheeseborough, you're not wrong. Sammy, Maxey, Daniel, House, Tobias, the other dudes are stepping up. They're absolutely stepping up. Sean Kilrain, whose house? D house. I want to see more of him. Prove me wrong. Sean, I can't. How can I prove you wrong if you're not wrong? John Cheeseborough, they frustrated Boston in more ways than one, and more than anybody I could have imagined. I just wish this was a TNT game instead of being on the mothership. Yeah, I do love the TNT games. They're much better. Go Sixers. Morning, Farzy and everyone. It's closeout day. Damn right it is. Sammy, let's close the door and play the damn song. Go Sixers. Yes, Sammy. I've been waiting 40 years to close the damn team out. Been waiting 40 years. John Cheeseborough, Doc has been ready to adjust to whatever Boston tries to counter with. I think Boston's head coach, not even going to try to spell his name, Missoula, is in over his head. Look, Embiid on Horford has to be a great mismatch again, okay? Rivers on Missoula also has to be a great mismatch. Missoula's, I think he just celebrated his 13th birthday. Doc Rivers is 107. Like, at some point, experience has to matter. And hopefully this is a series where experience matters. This just popped in my head. It's been in and out of my thoughts. It's been going in one ear, out the other, and then making a U-turn and going just back across my head for this series. But what if I told you that the guy that was supposed to take over for Brett Brown, in Ime Udoka, who didn't take over for Brett Brown, who took the job after being the highest paid assistant coach in basketball his last year with the Sixers, what if taking the job with the Boston Celtics, following that up, ultimately helps the 76ers finally get past the second round of the playoffs? What if I told you that's the way it was going to go down? What if I told you? Well, it could go down. Because Ime Udoka, I'm going to go ahead and assume, is a better basketball coach than Joe Mazzulla. What if? What if? Hopefully tomorrow we're not talking about what if. We're talking about what is, baby. Anyway. Boop. Wait, what the hell? John Cheeseborough, I love how Doc didn't really let Boston go on that run and use his timeouts to kill any momentum they thought they had. I wouldn't expect Captain Dork Horford to be that bad again, but I love it. The Captain Dork, that's funny. That's good. I like that, John Cheeseborough. Thank you. Sean Gillespie, what's up? Still nervous about this game? Please, Sixers, don't let Boston shoot all those threes. Yeah. Go Sixers. My number one hated team, still the stinking Celtics. Penguins, Celtics, Cowboys. I know everyone is like, Cowboys are the same team. I'm talking about me, okay? Don't tell me how I feel. Anyway, plus everybody hates the Cowboys, so there's like no uniqueness to it. Anyway, Sean Kilburn, I wish they play Who's the Man for Embiid to start the game and throughout the game. Let's go. I love it. Breaking the 2001 jinx and Embiid and company. Sean Kilrain and Hopel. Just a tip. Just a tip. What's going on? Good morning. I pronounce that like it's Jamaican. Where's the tip? Right by the beach, boy. That's an awful impression of Dave Chappelle doing an impression of somebody from Jamaica. Boy. Farzy is putting on a wig for other reasons. No judgment here. Wait, whoa, what's going on here? Wait. Just a tip. Mark, what time do you throw on your wig and turn into your alter ego, Nick Sirianni? August? Hey, if last season turned out to be like a real clunker, I was all ready to do a new bit on the show called Seriously Sirianni. And in my vision, it's a 90s TGIF-like comedy called Seriously Sirianni that is wedged between Full House and Step by Step, complete with laugh track and everything. And it's like the overexcited Nick Sirianni. But like you can't, and it wouldn't even be a wig. It would be the visor. But you can't really make fun of a coach that's doing really well. It's not that funny. It's only funny if he's good, or it's only funny if he's bad. If you're doing the bit, it's like you're making fun of a guy that's doing awesome. But I do love Nick Sirianni. He is wildly entertaining. Farzi's putting on a wig for different reasons. No judgment here. Thank you. Who is that? Is that Sean? Thank you, Sean. What else we got here? Sammy, Bryson Stott bunt game is terrible. It is terrible. Dan Schwartz, let's go Sixers. I may cry if they win tonight just because I forget what past the second round looks like. March into the finals. Dan Schwartz, hello everyone. Mihai, what's going on, Mihai? Morning all. Morally speaking, the Sixers game 7 is tonight. Ooh, I like it. The Phillies sweep Roy Halladay series, aka World Series preview, could very well be. Mihai, I believe you said it. NFL does great with their storylines. Just don't rig/script the games. A Philly rated. Mihai, I agree with you. A Philly rated. Birds got to be wearing Kelly Green for Xmas, right? Ooh. A Philly rated. I hope so. A Philly rated. Affiliated Poppy. I'm not rated. Sorry. Affiliated Poppy. Excuse me. Lo siento. You can let everyone know I was the one who told you about Jonesy. Just a tip. Thank you. If that's the alter ego of the person that actually texted me, that's pretty funny. Hopefully the start of the Eagles Super Bowl season. Lots of pieces come back. Yep, I hope so. Mihai, I agree. Everyone's chatting it up. John Cheesebro, Farzy, if you do a Nick Sirianni bit, you got to be ready to talk about your mutant brother and how he helps your approach just about anything. Attack. And I got to throw out what more high school references. See, like I can't. Like Mount Union isn't, what do you call it? Mount Union isn't like I don't know. Everyone knows Temple University, so I can't. It's not as I guess I don't know, clever. Or off the beaten path? I don't know. But, yeah. Sixers in 6. Anna Horford is in love with her brother. All right. Sean Gillespie. Ime Udoka is also better with the ladies. Apparently. Wow. Captain Dork. Police Academy 5. Thank you. Police Academy 5? Hold on. Is this a Steve Gutenberg reference that I am unaware of? Which one was the Police Academy 5? Now I have to look this up. Otherwise, I'm going to really be upset that I don't understand references. They were in Miami? Oh, I vaguely remember this one. Okay, I got to go back and watch Police Academy 5. All right. David Spade, I think, is in the original Police Academy movie. I have not seen Steve Gutenberg in the cast here. Holy pots and pans. How do they even make this movie? Wow. Well, Bubba Smith's still in it, so, I mean, there you go. So that's good. Good for him. That's exciting. All right. Anyway, let me finish up the chat. I'm over on the Jacob Media YouTube channel now. The Mom Mommy. First off, happy Mother's Day to Mom Mommy. Good morning, Farzy. Good morning to you. Good morning to you as well. There was a couple more on Farzy Show chat I wanted to get back to her. He's in part 4? Oh, he is. Oh, so this is on Patrol. Yes, because he was the skateboarder. David Spade, you're right. Captain Dork was when Lassard's nephew wrote Dork on Captain Harris's chat. That's great. Yeah, he wasn't in 5. Well, these are things we all learn. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are great as per usual. Sixers, Celtics, Game 6, 7:30 tonight. Sixers finished off the Celtics. We're not shipping back to Boston, baby. I really just think it comes down to Joel Embiid. I think it comes down to Doc Rivers over Missoula. I think it's the Sixers winning this series, and I think they cracked the code. And if every single game you see Joel Embiid get better, that means tonight he will be at his best. The fact that they're playing at home only helps that situation. Now, this is not going to be easy, folks. And quite frankly, tomorrow, I wouldn't be shocked that we're still talking about a Game 7, though I'd be greatly disappointed. Boston is not going to struggle from the field in 2 games in a row that they struggled in. They're not going to struggle from 3. They're not going to be as weak with the basketball. It's not going to happen. The Sixers, this is not going to be a gift. It's not going to be handed to them. They're not going to go out there and just blow out the Celtics by 20. This is going to be a tightly fought basketball game. But ultimately, I think it's going to come down to who's got the best player, and that's going to be Joel Embiid. And this is another thing. If you have unlocked something with Tyrese Maxey here, forget about the Eastern Conference Finals because you're going to be concerned about the NBA Finals. If they have really unlocked something with Maxey, then you might be feeling a little bit more comfortable in the fourth quarter than you would anticipate. So that's another thing that I'm going to be looking at tonight. I think you're getting consistent bench help now. I think you're getting a James Harden that can play like this for a long time. I don't think you need to have 40-point Harden. He's welcome with open arms if he shows up. But if you consistently get Maxey or Harden stepping up as the number 2 or 1A to Joel Embiid, then this is going to be a fun closeout night for the Sixers. Look forward to that. No Phillies game tonight. They're back at it when they start a 3-game series tomorrow night, 8:40 in Colorado with the Rockies, and they start with that 6-game road trip. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is the Farzy Show presented by Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. One place, one price, the perfect price online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Sixers win or lose, might have to do an emergency program tonight on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. So might want to check that one out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Jim Hyde approved this program, did a wonderful job as per usual. Make sure you guys hit like, hit subscribe, and follow us on the podcast and all that stuff as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.